In the quiet farmlands of Maine, a shadowy invasion is taking root. Illegal marijuana operations churning out black market cannabis. But these aren't your typical backyard pot farms. They're sophisticated setups allegedly run by transnational criminal networks with deep ties to China. Mikenzie Frost reports.
In Maine, you expect to find rugged beaches, rural pastures, and remote roads, not rows and rows of marijuana grown illegally by Chinese citizens on a rented farm. Yet that's exactly what Machias Police Lieutenant Tim Mace discovered while executing a search warrant in late 2023. A shadowy network of Chinese nationals growing black market marijuana that local police and even the Drug Enforcement Administration believe are connected to organized crime, human trafficking, money laundering, possibly even tied directly to the Chinese Communist Party. That's where Republican Senator Susan Collins of Maine sees a national security issue.
These grow houses have been linked to transnational Chinese gangs. They are operating illegally. It is likely part of an elaborate money laundering scheme, and it may be linked to the fentanyl trade as well.
It's legal to grow small amounts of marijuana in Maine, but police say this operation far exceeded the limits and without required permits.
We had received actually in that summer prior to a bunch of complaints about illegal grow. Our initial reaction was it's legal, marijuana has been legalized, so we don't really care a whole lot. But then we started looking into it and fielding complaints from other growers who are like, we have to pay these taxes, these startup fees. It's not fair that these people are doing it illegally. So we're like, okay, fair enough. So we started to dig into it, realized the scope of it, that it was this really large appearing grow, 3 big buildings.
And what did you find when you went inside the building?
There was about 2,600 plants themselves in various states of growth, and we recovered a bunch of marijuana packaged and some that was drying.
What about the people?
There were 3 males there. They had Asian IDs. They said came to Maine to eat lobster. Some denied they even knew the grow was there.
Those 3 males, Ming Li, holding a Chinese passport with a U.S. visa, Pang Yufang, a Malaysian passport, and Dong Young Li, a Chinese citizen with a driver's license issued in New York. All 3 were arrested, charged with 2 counts of felony drug trafficking.
It looks like someone was posting for farmers to come to Maine and grow. It was very vague.
Lieutenant May says the property was a family farm for generations.
And then in 2020, an Asian male bought it, and then from a year and a half, it exchanged hands 3 times, almost 3 or 4 months apart. We dug into the power bills. There was about 6 different names on the power bills in that time frame. So it really seemed there were a lot of co-conspirators involved in this.
What does that indicate to you?
That there's something larger going on, that there's multiple people and it's $1 million business.
What happened in Machias wasn't an isolated incident. In fact, federal officials now say more than 270 suspected illegal marijuana growing operations, all believed to be connected to Chinese citizens, have been identified in Maine alone. Beyond Maine, since 2023, Chinese suspects have been arrested in dozens of similar busts in Oklahoma. Federal authorities report that illegal marijuana farms tied to Chinese criminal networks have been uncovered in as many as 20 states. Senator Collins pressed the issue at a recent hearing.
Has the FBI developed a strategy and dedicated resources toward combating these illegal marijuana grows that are tied to transnational criminal organizations in China?
What we've done since I've taken the seat as the director of the FBI is reprioritize assets to push out into the field. We have numerous new investigations open on just these matters alone, but the field is telling me what you're telling me. We need more folks out there. I'm trying to put them out there as fast as I can.
Do you believe that the Chinese government knows that this operation is happening in the United States and that they are sending these people here to do this?
I do. I cannot prove that, but given how invasive the Chinese government is when it comes to controlling the lives of its citizens, it's very difficult for me to believe that the Chinese government does not know that these illegal growing operations are operating in the United States.
Where we're so remote, law enforcement is scattered. It's easier for people to come here and kind of hide out.
Lieutenant May says the suspects may have chosen Machias for the illegal operation in part because the police department only has a handful of full-time officers covering 14 square miles.
Do you think that they knew that you guys were a four-man department?
Yeah, I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did some kind of reconnaissance to know where to be or where to put it.
Do you think that other towns, maybe not in Maine, but in other rural states that have small departments like that, should they be concerned that they might be next?
Yeah, I mean, I would be. This seems like it's more and more becoming a national issue. As marijuana becomes legalized, they keep popping up in all those states that do. So yeah, I would be very worried.
So interesting. What happened to the 3 men who were arrested?
So all of the major charges were dropped against that Chinese national who had the New York driver's license.
Okay.
Instead, he pleaded guilty to some minor marijuana possession charges, and he was sentenced to 90 days in jail plus a $400 fine.
Why?
We don't really know. We don't have any word from law enforcement or court officials about why those major charges were dropped. Now, the Malaysian individual, he is currently out on bail waiting a trial, and that third individual, he vanished, and an active warrant is out for his arrest right now.
Very interesting. Thanks so much,
Thanks.
Mikenzie.